Have you ever wondered what happens behind the golden walls of royal palaces? The glitz, the luxury, the unimaginable power? And yet somewhere in the shadows, a woman stays silent. Not out of weakness, but out of something far stronger. Loyalty. This is not the story of a scandal. This isn't about betrayal or headlines. It's about one woman who chose dignity over drama, grace over gossip. In the storm of global attention, she never spoke a word. But her silence told the whole story. Sheikha Hind, bint Maktoum. The name you've probably never heard before. The woman behind Dubai's most powerful man, his first wife, his most loyal wife. And perhaps the only one who truly stayed. Let me take you back. It's 1979. Dubai is a very different place. It's rising, slowly, not yet the towering metropolis it is today. But one man has a vision. Young Sheikh Mohammed, ambitious, charismatic, focused. And then there's Sheikha Hind. She's not a celebrity. She's not in the spotlight. But her marriage to Sheikh Mohammed marks a pivotal moment in the history of Dubai. Two royal families joined. A strategic alliance, yes, but also the beginning of something deeply personal. Unlike many royal wives in the spotlight today, Sheikha Hind didn't chase fame. No red carpets, no interviews, no Instagram. In fact, if you searched her name for years, you'd barely find a photo. And maybe that was the point. While the world watched Dubai rise, from deserts to skyscrapers, from oil to opulence, one woman remained firmly in the background, supporting, shaping, and mothering. Yes, mothering. Because Sheikha Hind isn't just the wife of the ruler, she's the mother of the future. Among her many children is Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed, better known as Fazza, the crown prince of Dubai. Beloved on social media, adventurous, poetic, and deeply respected. The future of Dubai, raised by a woman most people never see. But here's where things get interesting. As Sheikh Mohammed's power grew, so did the world's attention. Dubai became a symbol of wealth, vision, and ambition. And with that came new marriages, new wives. One of them, famously, was Princess Haya bint al-Hussein, the glamorous, educated Jordanian princess who married Sheikh Mohammed in 2004. Suddenly, there was a wife in the spotlight. Events, speeches, charity work. The world saw her as the modern face of Dubai's royal family, but behind closed doors, things were not as perfect as they seemed. In 2019, Princess Haya fled Dubai with her two children. She escaped to the UK, claimed fear for her life, and went head-to-head in court with Sheikh Mohammed. The drama unfolded on the global stage. Tabloid headlines, courtroom secrets, accusations, surveillance. It was messy, and for many, it was shocking. But not everyone was surprised, because while the world was watching the headlines, Sheikha Hind was watching something else. Her family, her city, her legacy. She said nothing. She posted nothing. She gave no statement, no defense, no drama, just silence. And that silence? It spoke louder than anything else. In a world obsessed with attention, Sheikha Hind chose invisibility. And in that invisibility, she held power. Real power. Not the kind that comes from being photographed. The kind that comes from being trusted. She raised not one, but several of Dubai's future leaders. She ran households, family affairs, charities, always from behind the curtain. But her influence is everywhere, in the culture, in the stability of the royal family, in the dignity of her children. Now think about this. How many women can live in a palace, watch their husband take more wives, see one of them run to the international media, and still remain composed, still remain committed to her family's future? That's not passivity. That's strength. Sheikha Hind understood something most people don't. Loyalty isn't loud. It's not glamorous. It doesn't beg for attention. It's quiet, steady, and at times, invisible. Some might say she had no choice, that she was trapped in tradition. But here's the twist. Sheikha Hind comes from a powerful branch of the Maktoum family herself. She wasn't forced into silence, she chose it. Because sometimes, real power doesn't need to scream, it just needs to endure. She saw the long game, not the headlines. And now, decades later, when you look at the royal family of Dubai, the ones who've stayed, the ones who carry the future, you see her fingerprints. In their education, in their humility, in their poise. Sheikh Hamdan often writes about honor, love, and legacy in his poetry. Do you think that comes from nowhere? Number? That comes from a mother. It's easy to love someone when the cameras are on. It's easy to be loyal when everything is perfect. But true loyalty, real, enduring loyalty, is forged in silence, in sacrifice, in patience. Sheikha Hind didn't need to prove her loyalty. She lived it. While the world watched Dubai rise from sand to sky, she was there. Not just as a witness, but as an architect of something deeper. A royal lineage grounded in values, in discipline, in restraint. So yes, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum had many wives, but only one stayed through it all. Only one raised the next ruler. Only one remains the quiet center of a very loud world. And maybe that's what real royalty is about. Not the jewels, not the cars, not the ceremonies, but the woman who sits in the background, building an empire through her children, holding the line when no one else does, and never ever asking for credit. Now tell me this. In the story of Dubai's rise, in the saga of its rulers, its riches and its royalty, who will history remember? The wife who left, or the one who stayed? The headlines fade, the drama disappears. But loyalty, that kind of loyalty becomes legend. And in the end, maybe that's why we know so little about Sheikha Hind. Because legends don't need to be loud, they just need to last.